Solace is relief from the pressures of life, and one of the few places I seek solace is in the mountains here in Southern California, chasing mule deer. I enjoy hunting mule deer here in Southern California more than all other North American big game. I think there's just something special about hunting at home. I'm out here scouting, and so far I've found 6 bucks over the last month. I've found 6 bucks over the last month. I'm trying to find just a big old mature buck, and I haven't found a big old mature buck. I just came around the corner and there's another buck. This is a really nice forky buck. It's the best one I've seen so far. This is buck number 7, and we still have 4 weeks before season starts. Now these bucks are already rutting. Their necks are getting thick, and it looks like they're just kind of cruising and hunting. But this one's funny. There's 2 hikers that don't even know there's a buck like 80 yards away from them. But apparently, like, I'm in an area where there's a lot of hikers, and the deer are just used to the people. So the buck is not spooked at all. He knows he knows it's 2 hikers. He smelled them, he's seen them, and the buck just started feeding again, and now he wandered back into the brush. I just found another buck. Buck number 8. I'm blown away. Wow. Southern California really is unique because there is such a diverse range of habitat. You have mountains that exceed 8,000 feet of elevation that get tons of snow every year. Areas that are heavily forested with evergreen trees and maple and oak and all this stuff. And then you have other parts of Southern California that are the extreme opposite. I mean, literally sand dunes and desert that goes down to the Mexican border. Then you have other parts that are rolling hills and oak trees, and then mountains that are full of chaparral and sagebrush and buckwheat and things like that. So Southern California offers a very diverse range of habitat to hunt in, and all of Southern California, I think there's probably 5 or 6 units that encompass Southern California, and there's mule deer all through Southern California. My experience has been probably 8 out of 10 bucks that you'd see here in Southern California are forkies, even mature bucks. So I think it's just a common genetic here. You know, you'd see a young buck, it'd be a small forky, and then you see a big, old, thick, mature buck, and it's still a forky. So getting a 3x3 or something bigger is really a big accomplishment for Southern California, because those bucks are really few and far between. It's opening morning, and I'm on my glassing knob, just waiting for it to get light enough for me to start glassing. There's been 3 bucks that are living in this canyon right below me. And if the big forky is still there, I'm going to pop him. It's going to be about a 400-yard shot. But I'm ready to go. And I'm just waiting for the sun to come up. There's 2 hunters on the ridge way above me. I mean, they're probably 3/4 of a mile away, but they're way up high on the top of the mountain. Those guys are hardcore, man. They've already had to hike, literally they've already had to hike about 6 miles just to get to where they're at. And it's hard hiking. I mean, it's grueling hiking. And they're up there right now, so they probably started hiking at like 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning. Those guys deserve a buck. I hope they get one. And I started glassing the bedding area, just kind of keeping a close eye on this one area the size of a football field. And sure enough, they weren't there. Nowhere to be found. So I turned around and went over the other side of the ridge and glassed the other canyon, and there they were. They apparently decided to bed down in a separate bedding area that I also knew about, but they hadn't been bedding down there too often. Well, I spotted that buck chasing that doe at about 2,000 yards. I thought it was only 1,500 yards, but it was 2,000 yards. And it took me about an hour to run over here, follow a couple of ridges over this way. And then now I'm 900 yards away, so I am in rifle range. And the buck bedded down somewhere in the middle of all these boulders and sumac. So I got everything set up here, and I'm just gonna wait for this buck to get up. I'm hoping as the sun starts to move across the sky that the buck has to get out of his bed and reposition so he can stay in the shade. So now I'm just playing the waiting game. Saw that buck again, and so I'm gonna go grab some lunch. And we have some events at our church this evening, so probably won't make it out in the woods again this evening, but I'll be back again hopefully Monday morning. So the next morning I went out to a different canyon where I knew these deer will travel through because there's a spring in the bottom of the canyon. And immediately within 5 minutes of glassing, there was a buck right in front of me, and a good dandy buck. So finally, with the help of that Death Grip tripod, I was able to make a great shot on that buck at 450 yards, and I filled my first tag, which was really cool. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh, what in the world? Wow, dude. Wow, look at this, man. Literally, while it was still dark, this buck must have only been like 300 yards away from me across the canyon. Because once it finally got light enough to see, I glassed, and boom, there he was, and you see it on the video. But he had just been walking along the hillside directly across from me, and he knew I was there. You know, he probably saw my truck drive in, but he wasn't too spooked. But by the time I was able to get a shot off on him, he was 400 and something yards away. Wow. Oh my goodness, look at that.